So I just spent maybe the last 2 hours cleaning the garage to get more tools, to put my tools away, to get them back out, to do a couple things. Anyways, let me show you where I'm at right now. Okay, so I got a couple things here for the Eclipse. We're going to pull the battery out. This is a battery mount. I'm hoping will work. Then this is a battery cable. I'm going to replace the botched one I have on there. And then this is a starter cable. I want to add one more ground. So I'm going to run this to the motor, because I'm going to run this to the firewall and this one to the motor. I only have there's one ground cable on it right now, and it's just one that I botched together because the one that was on it was junk. You know, it was scrap. And that was what I had at the time. I want to move this over here, which it's going to have to go right back. But anyways, this is going to be my work area over here. Like, I'm going to build a big workbench. We'll keep the motorcycles. I'll have my tools. I want to have like this to be a work area, and I can paint small parts over here. Not whole cars. We're not going to have whole cars sitting here. I changed my mind on all this recently, and just came to terms that once the lift's in here, there's going to be hardly any way to get a car back here unless you use dollies, and it's just not feasible. Whatever. I don't have that many cars in here. I eventually want to be able to park a car there when I don't want to have it outside, and then I could put two here because I could have one on the lift and one on the floor. I want to paint these tonight. I want to take the wing off because I also want to paint it too with all this stuff, and it needs to be off anyway whenever we do go to paint it. But the front bumper is fitting great. I found some speed nuts and put those inserts in that are supposed to be in there. Fit up perfect. The bumper fits pretty good. That headlight might need a little bit of tweaking. It's got I think a little bit more of a gap underneath it than the passenger side. I don't know. I'm going to have to mess with that a little bit. But first, let's take care of this battery stuff. I want to get to, and then we'll move it over here, and we'll move my paint stuff over in this area. So I am, yet again, going to have to spend a little bit more money on it, but it's a safety thing. That's why I'm going to spend the money. I don't really want to mess around trying to fix something the wrong way and it fail and be a safety hazard. Anyway, right here's one safety hazard. I redid the power wires. It's, whatever. It's not very clean, but the way I have it right now, I need to have a rubber insulator over top of it. I'm going to go try to find something. All else fails, I'm going to wrap it in tape. But I took this, what I told you is a cruise control mod, whatever this is. It's vacuum operated, and it has a spring in it, and the throttle cable controls it. It's what controls your cruise control. Well, the kid, when I bought it, he said, "Oh, if you just glue it." He said, "I had it glued and it worked." And he said, "All you gotta do is glue it." Yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, he did glue it. It busted. Look at this chunk missing out of it right here. And it's run off vacuum. You see that? That's a vacuum hose that goes right there. There ain't gonna be no vacuum. I was gonna try to plastic weld this thing back together, but you know what? I'm gonna price them. It can't be too bad. I'd rather it work properly or not work at all. Like, I'd either put it back the way it is right now, or like, yeah, remove the guts of this thing and put it back so it does not operate at all, or, you know, whatever. I'm not messing around with it because I don't want somebody to hurt themselves, because they put the cruise control on, the thing takes off. So we're not going to do that. We're gonna fix that. But after I get that terminal covered up, then we're going to move this over here, and I want to clean up this side and cover my bikes up and stuff. And hopefully I get some painting done tonight. It's already getting later, and I don't really want to stay up too late because I'm going to have a premiere in the morning so I can talk to you guys, and I'm getting kind of tired already. So let me get this thing back together, and then we'll get it moved and start from there. Also, guys, I have another review to do. Actually, I have a couple coming. A lot of the stuff just hasn't come yet, but this just came today, and I've seen reviews on them. You know, some are, it seems biased, so I'm going to do an honest review. I can tell you by first look at these things, they look a little complicated, like they're going to be a little bit more hassle than what it would be to just use a normal one, but they might look cool. So anyway, Auxbeam sent me out some LED headlights for my Camaro. They're dual beam, and the part about it that's going to be difficult, I think, is setting them correctly so that the beam is the way I want it. It has a little Allen head screw on where the actual socket goes in place. You can loosen that up and adjust the bulb in and out and turn it whichever way you need to adjust your beam. I think it's going to be real hard to get that adjusted, because then you have to take it out of the headlight and pull it out to tighten that thing back up. So it's, how do you keep it in place to, you know, get your adjustment perfect? That's my question. But once you get one set, you could pretty much put it with the other headlight, or like line it up with the other headlight and just try to eyeball it and get it identical, because it should fit in both headlights the same way. So anyways, I'm not going to do a total separate video review on this like I did for that Audu thing, because that video just did not do good for me, and views, everything sucked on it. So I'm just going to include this in one of my next videos whenever I do it. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, there's plenty of reviews on them. I don't know if I haven't seen one on the Camaro yet. I haven't really looked it up though, but it's just cool to see them in different vehicles to see how they turn out. So if you're interested in that, it's coming. I'll put it on the thumbnail and stuff whenever I do put it in a video, but be on the lookout for that. Alright guys, so a lot of stuff happened off camera. I feel in a funk today. I don't know what it is. And I just didn't feel like recording. But side skirts look good. I mean, yeah, I spray painted them. That's what it looks like. Looks like I spray painted them. So, but a lot of stuff got done. Let me take you out of the holster here. Stripped the back end. I was going to remove the whole bumper and paint it off the car, but after the first 2 bolts busted coming out, I was like, you know what? We're just going to paint it on the car. It didn't have all the bolts in it to begin with. There's some missing over here. That one busted, and then that one busted, and I decided, you know what? No, I'm not doing it. I got a self-tapper. I'm going to have to go get some more and ram one in right here to hold it. The rest of the screws, there's a couple missing, but we're just going to paint it on the car. It's no big deal. I just took everything off. The wings over here, I'm going to paint it off the car. It's pretty moldy. It hasn't been off the car. Sorry, I'm being really bad with the camera right now. We'll paint it off the car. I'll show you what they look like. There's specs in it. I mean, it's not perfect. The car's going to be all one color. That's my main objective here with painting it like this. Basically, I spent my whole budget on fixing the car and making it right. That I just wanted to be one color at this point, so I'm throwing a spray job paint on it. The next person gets the car and they want to make it a very nice car. It won't be nothing for them just to repaint the whole car, sand it down. I mean, it won't take much to take the spray paint off. But that's where I'm at on it. I just wanted to look decent. We know it's a good drive. Well, we don't know if it's a good driving car. I haven't really got to get it out on the road yet, but I plan on doing that after I get it painted. But I know a lot of you are cringing because I'm doing it, but it's just the way it is. I don't want to lose a shit ton of money. I thought about single stage paint and doing it that way. I'm not set up for it. I'm just not. I don't have the ventilation here. I don't have the air. I don't have anything, and I don't have anywhere else I can do it. So this is the way it's going to be, and live with it. Alright guys, so it's the next day. Couple updates since yesterday. Number 1, let me show you. I got a workbench. It's a little one, and it was a freebie. So, I mean, whatever. That means after we're done with this, we're going to tear the motor out of that, and then I can slap it down on the bench and get it done. I do want to cover that with cardboard or something just in the meantime. But this was my Pap's. My Pap died back in 1992. He did a lot of woodworking. I know he built this. There's a whole bunch of woodworking tools down there in his shed. All kinds of stuff. And we're just kind of like going through some of his stuff. But my dad asked me if I wanted the workbench. Well, yeah. I do want to, honestly, I got all of this space here. I'd like to have a workbench that's the whole length of this. And then maybe wrap the corner just a little bit. I don't want to go to the window. That window's down too low. So if I put a workbench that's level with the window, it's going to be really low for me. Anyways, wing off, strip down. These parts are actually dry. And yes, it's, well, they're getting dry. They're touchable, but they still need some time. Yes, it's spray paint, so it's not perfect, but for a spray job, it's pretty even. Looks good. I probably, after these have a good time to dry, since it's cold out, I'll run over these with the buff wheel and some of that Meguiar's cutting stuff and just polish these. They all turned out about the same, you know what I mean? About as good as you're going to get out of a spray can. So, but that's how we're going to do the whole thing. I'm I'm going to get the wing next, but I want to run to Walmart right now. So I do have a lot of cans of this, but I know for a fact that I probably need a couple more to get that whole thing done. It's a heat wave today. We're up to freezing. Like 30, 32 degrees. I actually ran my truck through the car wash and it didn't freeze. So awesome for that. We need to get the installation done. And, it's just stuff going on, man. Stuff going on. I do have my hose in here, and it's not frozen now. So I could hook that up and wash the underside of this. I might have to do that. I might have to wash this thing. I think my wife just pulled in. It actually was not my wife. It was another product, free product from my car that I got to do a review on. I don't want to tell it because my address is on it. But green filter looks like a Canon copy, yeah, but it's green. Let me open it up. We'll see what it looks like. So they show tests of these online. They have like some sort of machine with vacuum set up and stuff, and they put this in place, and this ball rises according to how much it flows. And they have like a K&N and other things, and when they put this in, it has the most flow, and you could tell the difference, whatever. I can tell you right now, it's almost, to me, the quality and everything looks the same as a K&N. If you hold it up to the light, you can actually see right through it. So I don't know how I feel about that. Because, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to flow. No doubt. But to be able to see right through it like that, it's kind of concerning. So that will be for another video. We got that and this to do on my car. Might have to do that tomorrow. I don't know yet. Alright, so before I run to Huntington to get the paint, I want to get some better grease and wax remover and stuff too while I'm up there. When I come back, we might take this out and wash it, but I wanted to sand this down and get some putty on it. So one good thing I see going on here that's going to make this job so much nicer is there are multiple layers of paint on this car. This car has been repainted several times. So you got the top layer, which is here, then the next one, which is this gray color, then the next one, which is that gray color, then the next one, which is that gray color, then there's a dark seal or a primer, and then you get to metal. So, and this clear coat came off very easy. When I started sanding it, it was like off instantly. So, it's not going to be hard getting this whole thing scuffed and ready for paint, and I don't have to worry about burning through the metal because there's so many layers of paint on this. But I got that down to metal because I want to add some putty on there. I want to putty over here on this spot. So I got, pretty far out around that. And then there is putty right here already. There was a small dent right there. And look at this, man, they really used some coarse sandpaper there before they put that putty on. I used 180 grit. That's what I used. But, so there is, and it's not real thick. I mean, that is a very thin layer of putty that's on there. So, but we're going to add some on top of it right there. Put more on than you need so you can sand it down. But I'm going to throw the putty on here. I'm not going to video that. I'm just going to slap some putty on these spots so it has time to dry while we're going. All right. So we laid down some putty there. Put down some putty here. Put some there. We'll block sand those when we get back. Well, that one I probably won't be able to block sand. It's pretty tight space, but then once we get it smooth, we'll primer everything. Then we can get it outside and clean it. You don't want to get putty wet. So once you get it sanded to where you want it, you're going to want to cover it with a primer, and then you can do your cleaning. I still think I have some I still have some TranStar primer over there, so we'll use that over top before we wash this thing. All right, so I'm back already. Utilizing this workbench to its full potential already. Freaking packed. Anyways, I got wax and tar remover, which is, your basic wax and grease remover, but I wanted to get Rust-Oleum because that would be more compatible with what I'm using. So I got that. I did get some Rust-Oleum primers, but I still have some of that other stuff. I just wasn't sure how much I had left. So I got a couple of these, which are probably junk. This is the paint I've been using. I just got 4 more cans. And then I wanted some paint supplies. I needed some tape, some drop cloth. And this stuff right here is like the bee's knees right here. It's plastic with tape already applied. You peel that off and stick it to something, and then you unravel this, and it's like, how wide is it? 24 inches long after you unfold that. So, like, I could tape around that window trim right there and then unfold it and pretty much cover the whole roof with it. Or you could go around the wheel wells and down the side and flip it out and cover the floor. Have like a drop cloth that taped up in the wheel well. You know what I mean? It makes it really simple and quicker. So, anyways, already started sanding. I know, I'm doing a lot of stuff off camera here. Block sanded this. You could see right there is a low spot, but the transition is great. This right there is a low spot, which I think I'm going to actually have to put some putty on that because it's a little deeper than I'm comfortable with. And then over here we still have a really, you can see right there, that's a low spot. The top, I got that one pretty good, but yeah, right there, we're definitely going to have to add some putty in there. So I'm going to mix up some putty and slap some more on here, and we'll clean these areas up and get more on it. So anyways, while that putty's drying, I know I just put it back on there. I'm going to disassemble the front end, bumper, headlights, take that all off, and then I think I'm just going to go to town, sand it. I really need a sand. I have a feeling that I'm going to have to put primer back on this because the primer that's on this fender is very thin, and I know I'm going to sand through it. Like, first time I take the sandpaper over it, I'm going to sand through it. So probably have to put some filler primer on it, and then we'll sand it again. Rest of the car, the hood, I don't know how thick the paint is on the hood either, since it was off a different car and it's a different color. So we'll figure that out later. Let me start disassembling this front end so we have nothing to worry about up front here. I don't want to get anything on those headlights. They're beautiful. Thank you, Sean. You know Sean bought me these headlights at Nabori Auto. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out right now. You're missing out. He's about to finish a GTR. Or he might have. I don't know when my video is coming out. But I know. I'm light years off of what's going on there. But we got an Eclipse. It's like Fast and Furious up in this bitch. For the people that are hating because it's spray paint, listen, this car was never, I mean, okay, I thought I could fix it up and still like turn maybe a little bit, but it slowly turned into just a project. And honestly, like, even if you're not doing proper procedures and stuff like that, like not painting it properly and stuff, when it comes to a project, as long as you're having fun, like that's all that matters, right? You know what I mean? I'm gonna have fun with this, and there's not anybody out there that's gonna make me not have fun. So, yeah. Well, guys, I have sad news, and this really sucks. I really hate that this happened, and there's really nothing I can do about it right now. It's just going to be a waiting period. But I had dust on everything last night from sanding and stuff, and my DJI camera, when I hit the stop record, I had dust all over it. So I took an air compressor. I wasn't like real close, but I blew compressed air on it to get the dust off. Well, in the process, I'm highly certain that I blew the speakers out of it. It's not recording sound right now. It's like in and out, and everything I recorded since then has been squatchy. So I did get the protection plan on it. I am going to send it back and try to get another one. I don't know how long it's going to take. But it really, really sucks. But anyways, I'm going to end this episode here because I had too much footage. So I still have some good footage from the camera before this all happened. But anyways, if you like this episode, go check out some other episodes. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode of R.I.P. Peace out!